Hey, what is up, you guys? Today's video is going to be on another new project that I've set my eyes on and that's set to actually launch within a few hours. We will be also looking over the project that I listed yesterday in my video to see the results, see whether we made a profit, did we get rugged, or did we simply just not break even. A small disclaimer before we get into the video that none of this is financial advice, and you should always do your own research. There's lots of reading and lots of materials provided by these projects for you to read up beforehand, just so you know whether you're gonna get rugged per se, or how to invest. As you guys can see, Bitcoin keeps plummeting lower and lower. It's touched 41.5 today, which is absolutely terrible. But anyways, let's jump right into the project. So what we're looking at today is Polywolf. As you guys can see, it's going to start in approximately 9 hours. And moreover, it's just another essential DeFi project, in my opinion. Nothing too crazy, nothing out of the ordinary. And we can see that, first of all, it has pretty good APRs, as every project does at the beginning. Nothing too crazy. This one's pretty low, actually. Must be invested. Yeah, as you can see, there's a chunk already invested in this one. But regardless, it's pretty good in regards to APR numbers, and it's pretty much the same as multiple other projects, since it is, of course, a fork and a clone. So essentially, what needs to be understood is whether or not this is going to be safe. So right off the bat, one thing we can see is that it is not that populated, meaning that there's only, for example, 278 members on their Telegram, and furthermore on their Twitter you can see that they have 140 followers. Now that essentially, it's kind of a double-edged sword. So in one sense it's good because of the fact that you will be able to get a higher APR for a longer period of time because there's less people, meaning less dumps, meaning the APR goes down a little bit slower. Similar to what I had done with Polyape, essentially, which is a project I joined 2 days ago. I'm out of it now fully, but as a project 2 days ago, as you can see, it's pretty dead right now. But I got my 4% back within 19 minutes on Polyape, and then it was profits for about 12 hours before I realized the project is dead, and I simply pulled out with profits, no losses there. And similarly, this one, as you can see, not a lot of exposure, but once again, this might also pick up. And the consequences of it is, of course, that if it doesn't have a lot of followers and a lot of attraction, why does it not have the confidence of much of a larger audience, essentially? That's the question that gets raised. Now, let's look at the tokenomics of this. Right off the bat, we can see that there's one new token being minted every 2 seconds approximately on the block, essentially. And there is a 5 million maximum supply, which is kind of nice. Now, do I think that's going to stop people from dumping it and they're going to hold it because it's going to go up? Absolutely not. I know for a fact everybody's going to be dumping it, and 5 million tokens with one token being minted every block, and the starting mint being 1,000, it's gonna take a while until we get close to this number to make a difference. Now, following this, what we need to understand is it's on, if you guys can see it, when you click buy here, it's on SushiSwap, which is not really my favorite, but it's not on QuickSwap, it's on SushiSwap. It works just the same. And furthermore, if we look at the documents, we can see one thing that I personally am not a big fan of, which is the Wolfonomics, as they call it here, the economics. So where does the 4% go? So 50% of it, so 2% of your deposit will go to Caves, 25% supporting liquidity, so buyback and burns, I assume they're trying to clarify here, and so that's 1%, and then 1% to the dev team. Now, one thing I don't really like is the fact that it says that you'll have 2% going to Caves, and Caves itself is only going to be launched 2 weeks after the commencement of the project, which means that similar to another project, I don't know if you guys seen, I was also in this one. I actually only broke even on this one, no profits were made. Not a super great project, and it's my fault because I hadn't done the reading properly. It's same thing here as Mountain. Okay, as you guys can see, you can't really do anything with this stuff. And similarly, well, hopefully Polywolf does do something, but if you go Caves, it's nothing much. So, and it's being launched 2 weeks later. So once again, another thing that doesn't really pique my interest. But coming back to the actual point or coming back to this project, we can see right off the bat, it doesn't have any audits, which is something that really does, itch the back of my neck. So, and it is something unfortunate. But on top of that, they also clarified that they're gonna have a time lock prior to launch, so I'm waiting for that. And they said that there's an audit pending, so I'm trying to see whether or not something comes through with that. Guys, as I said, the probabilities only increase the more there are bad things, right? So the riskier it gets, essentially the less you want to invest. Now, do I think it's going to be a rug? Maybe a soft rug. I don't think it'll be a proper rug because there is no mitigator code, and essentially that might kind of save it. And on top of that, the time lock will save your funds for a certain period of time. So that is something to bear in mind. But at the end of the day, make sure you always do your own research. Now, that's enough about this project. Let's jump into our previous project to see whether or not it's been profitable. But actually, before we do that, I'll just give you guys a heads up as to where I found this from. So it was recently listed on Polywolf, but I had information about this from more than 2 days ago. And as you guys can see, it's white, which is usually the safer version, and it's a goose clone, right? They've been analyzed by Public Rug Doctor and Rugmeister rather, and that's something I really heavily rely on because they're good. They tend to be right for most of it. So yeah, just a shout out to them. You guys should definitely go and follow them. Excellent work by the engineers, extremely appreciated. And now let's jump into our previous project that we got into yesterday. So as you guys can see, okay, the price has gone up. I personally invested a medium-sized portion, I'd say, in this. And what I did was I actually invested in this pool. I've pulled out some of my investments. And moreover, I pulled out approximately 10% in the place of 4%. So 10% in stablecoin. So I'm at 6% profit. And then I've been reinvesting my profits into the Bullmatic pool, or the farm rather, and that has been gaining me profits as well. As you guys can see, profit, luckily I actually forgot to cash this out or put it back in, but luckily what happened was the price actually spiked up from $16 to $25. So I'm not complaining. It's a passive income at this point. I'm just gonna reinvest these into Bull, hoping that it maintains a good price. And overall, what I'm going to do is just pull out the rest of my investment here in order to just have a source of passive income. And that's what you guys kind of want to do, just have these making money for you, so you come back once a day or twice a day and you just collect. That's it. That's literally how it works. But yeah, so that's a success, and hopefully the next one will be too, and we move on from there, so on and so forth. Now let me know if you guys are interested in any technical analysis, as I do a lot of technical analysis. I don't have them listed here as I didn't really want to spoil it, but just like a teaser, there's multiple ways that I do technical analysis, and as you guys can see, I publish these all the time. But regardless, the main issue or the main point at hand is whether or not you guys want to see some TA, or whether or not you guys want me to make like a stream party that kind of happens at the same time, so that we can enjoy the launch of a project together and be hyped together right before the launch. Let me know if that kind of piques you guys' interest. And very important, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you're always up to speed. I will be continuing to post videos like this and projects like this as soon as I do my revisions. I have another project I'm currently working on with my team, and we are aiming to get that out hopefully within 1 or 2 days. So make sure you're up to date, because as I always say, being a slug will get you rugged. So be fast, be smart, stay safe. See you guys in the next video.